When a mechanical falcon takes flight from Merlin's tower, it means the sorcerer is bored or drunk on absinthe. I wonder if anyone else in Camelot stargazes enough to know this. The scarlet curtains of Merlin's window catch on the bird's feathers when the absinthe is especially potent, and today is no different. An arm stretches the falcon out the window. From the height of Lady Guinevere's bedchambers, the tattooed words of magic on Merlin's forearm aren't visible, but I know such words are there, faded and old from his travels to the Holy Land before sorcery was purged in favour of the mechanical arts and, with it, his addiction. The back of his hand flicks the machine into the air. I wait for the sorcerer to reveal himself, a wind-up controller in hand with copper wires attached to the falcon's artificial brain. Instead, a wire-free bird plummets toward the ground, and my heart stops. "No," I breathe, careful not to speak too loudly in case my lady would hear. The mechanical falcon would be smashed to bits, weeks of construction for nothing. My eyes squeeze shut, and I wait for the explosion of cogs, copper, and brass on cobblestone. But then, "Extend!" Merlin calls, his voice demanding obedience. The shining wings crack one plate at a time to a span of nearly 3 feet. They catch the breeze and spread across the sky, steering upward without any wires. My eyebrows lift, my lips part. This is new. Even more, Merlin demanding a mechanical falcon obey him and fly freely is nothing short of alarming. Knowledge of his former vice alone might make people wonder if he's turned back to magic. I glance at the dressing table in my lady's chambers, making sure I can steal a few more seconds of sky-watching. Guinevere tugs at the golden skirt of her gown, another brilliant low-cut style from Lyonesse that initially shocked Camelot's prudish subjects, and resettles herself in front of her mirror, whispering in a high-pitched voice to the birdcage beside her. A canary whistles back. She's occupied. Perfect. Outside, the falcon eclipses the setting sun. "Return!" From the valve on its head, steam whistles, identical to a real falcon's telltale caw. It swoops over the garden's violets and returns to the highest window in the castle, where Merlin waits wearing a leather glove. For tradition, of course, never mind the sharp brass talons. The curtain draws across his window, so I lower my viewer, my incredulous smile no longer subtle. The falcon flies, but its miniature boiler isn't sophisticated like an aeroship's and cannot rely on steam power to soar through the clouds. It's simply for show, for applause, for Merlin's own amusement. Tonight, Caldor doesn't fly because of the mechanical arts. Caldor flies because of Merlin's words. That's remarkable. "Vivienne?" Guinevere calls. I've got my hair caught around my fingers, twisting the tail of my blonde braid into a knot. After 3 months of being Guinevere's lady-in-waiting, I know how she hates it when I play with my hair. Clearing my face of any excitement, I pry my fingers loose. My other hand collapses my viewer into a metal disc, barely indistinguishable now from a coin, and then into my pocket it goes, safe from the eyes of those who might ask how a handmaid came across an inventor's toy. I drag myself from the window, smoothing out my long sleeves that are tied up with soft, pliable copper and embellished with pearls. My back straightens as Guinevere approaches. Greeting royalty, my governess taught me, requires poise. "Yes, my lady." She sets her thick chestnut hair over one shoulder. Usually I use the coiled brass comb to steam and straighten her locks into a more fashionable style. Today, she didn't want to bother.